I'm your host Slim bin Mohammed Rafi, and here is my YouTube channel Zamir Universe. The whole world is now at the edge, and there's because of one rabid dog who is biting everyone, and his name is Netanyahu, a war criminal, a baby killer, and the right hand man of the another mad king at the moment ruling United States of America as is the worst president, and whoever elected him for the second time, I think he did the greatest sin in the whole world. If you want to kill a snake, you have to kill that person who feeds that snake, who puts milk in front of that snake, and not let him starve due to lack of funds, lack of bombs, F-35, missiles, and blocking United Nations Security Council, for any action taken against or for accountability or the International Court of Justice. In other words, blunting all or closing all the doors of the international law by that man. And that man is United States of American president, and you have to first of all beat. I don't think Russia or China or any country, even North Korea, are really serious. Otherwise, they all know it. Okay? Unless they take care of this and completely break the American hegemony, and with false rule for the last 100 years, they are the one who agreed to get the wall, Berlin Wall break. That goodwill just went against that and backfired, and did nothing. They lost East Germany and unified, but look what happened after that. You just got a worse, a dirty, a filthy, start from Reagan to Bush to the present, all in line are just puppets, and the people who control them, they are their slaves. They have to lick their shoes, they have to, they kick their ass, they have to just wiggle their tail, and like a puppy dog just carry out the orders which are told to them by the Israeli Prime Minister or the Israeli lobby there, which really controls the United States of America. 215 million people living in 52 states are all enslaved through this media, which is the dirtiest, the filthiest, the womanizer, the child molester, liar, cheater, that imagine from his conduct in Qatar, paying trillions of dollars and giving them false sense of security to both Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, and that son of a XYZ. I don't even want to, filthy my tongue to call him what he is. Who would like to date his daughter because she's got busty and she's got a long neck? And you imagine, the cheat when his wife was pregnant. And there are many questions that, and I don't want to get into that. And this is why he blocked everything which will expose him. He will never ever let the Jeffrey Epstein's, the list public. He never ever declared, let the people know about the income taxes he paid. They never ever let them know how much money he paid to the prostitutes and, those prawns. So this is the fault of the Muslim world and the Arabs, who just consider him and lose their religion by considering him as a superpower to give them protection. Or you stupid idiots, the only one who can protect you and give you security is God Almighty, the creator of the world. This bloody mortal who will die in few years is already mentally dead, and the other one is morally dead, mentally dead, is one of the filthiest, dirtiest men. And look at the arrogance of that man. Instead of being shamed, he assassinated that Charlie now. And now he has the nerves to tell the person that Israel did not. Damn you bloody people, you invited him and he refused to go there. So as that you wanted to punish. How many countries you have invaded? So don't you see that people spit on your face, the whole world is on one side. You are the only worldly, your two worldly wise men are controlling the whole world. You are the filthiest, the dirtiest. Just I think, surrender yourself to the International Criminal Court or to the public, be hanged and burnt alive as it happened in Nepal, Indonesia, and Bangladesh. Believe you me, things like that will happen because the people and the youth is fed up. It's not just fed up in there. The next in line is Pakistan. Then next in line is United States of America and Israel. Next in line is Jordan, is Egypt, Syria.
Values which I see as the core of Israeli society nowadays. 3 or 4 sets of values which explain everything, in my view. The first, very deep-rooted value, and let's face it, is the value that we are the chosen people. Seculars and religious will claim so. And even if they don't admit it, they feel so. And the implementation is very simple. If we are the chosen people, who are you to tell us what to do? Who are you? Who is the international community to tell Israel what to do? International law? Oh, wonderful thing. It doesn't apply on us. It applies on any other place on earth, not on Israel. Because we are the chosen people. Don't you understand it? The second very deep-rooted value is obviously the value of we, the victims, not only the biggest victims, but the only victims around. I know many occupations which were longer than Israeli occupation, than the Israeli occupation. Some were even more brutal, even though it's getting harder and harder to be more brutal than the Israeli occupation. I don't recall one occupation in which the occupier presents himself as the victim. Not only the victim, the only victim. If to quote here the late Golda Meir, whom I quoted also last time, I know, but it is so unforgettable I have to use it again. She once said that we will never forgive the Arabs for forcing us to kill their children. We are the victims. We are forced to kill their children. Poor us. And as the victim and the only victim in history, again, it enables us the rights to do whatever we want, and nobody is going to tell us what to do, because we are the only victims. To this, there is a third, very deep-rooted value, and this is the very deep belief, again, everyone will deny it, but if you scratch under the skin of almost every Israeli, you'll find it there. The Palestinians are not equal human beings like us. They are not like us. They don't love their children like us. They don't love life like us. They were born to kill. They are cruel. They are sadists. They have no values, no manners. Look how they kill us. This is very, very deep-rooted in Israeli society, and maybe that's the key issue. Because as long as this continues, nothing will move. As long as most of the Israelis don't perceive the Palestinians as equal human beings, we are so much better than them. We are so much developed than them. And we are so much human than them. As long as this is the case, all our dreams, and we have some dreams, and I'll get to them, all our dreams will never become true.
Stop protecting Saudi Arabia. Tomorrow there will be people who will take over. There will be no such thing as royal family of Saudi Arabia. So if a man is that adamant and insults you, how dare you, Mohammed bin Salman, you still spend $1.3 trillion to that. Why don't you in the first step cancel that? Why the hell UAE does not get out of the Abraham Accord? Why doesn't the Qatar get out of that? Why does Qatar not get that plane back of some 600 million to this man? Or say to that it's given to state and nothing to do with Donald Trump. What about that sword of solid gold which Mohammed bin Salman gave on the first visit to Trump? What about all that money and diamonds and he gave to his daughter and Jared Kushner? How come he says and he's be friendly with Jared Kushner, who wants to build, the beach villas by expelling every, Gaza men and women? So in fact, the criminals are right in front of you. Are these first in the line are Arabs? Then I think even you can include Indonesia, Malaysia, Pakistan and Turkey. What good is
Imagine your city under siege. Foreign tanks roll through your streets. Fire rains down from above. Drones, airstrikes, F-16s. Imagine waking up to the sound of missiles. You run for shelter, but there is none. Not your home, not the hospital, not your child's school. Nowhere is safe. Imagine the last hospital in your city, overwhelmed with the wounded. Then an airstrike reduces it to rubble. Doctors, nurses, children, newborns, all buried beneath. Imagine your doctors standing outside the ruins, begging the world to listen, but the world ignores them. Imagine your pregnant wife forced to deliver without pain relief, without a midwife, without clean water. Imagine your sister's premature baby left to die because there are no incubators, no electricity, no medicine. Imagine your metro stations are turned into makeshift shelters, overcrowded with refugees and orphans. Imagine your nephew pulled from the rubble, alive but orphaned. He doesn't speak for months. Imagine nurses and medics forced to flee their hospitals, only to be arrested, blindfolded, and disappeared. Imagine your entire family found buried in mass graves, months after they disappeared. Imagine your home reduced to ash. You survive in makeshift tents during a freezing winter. Your city turned to a graveyard. Then, after 16 months, the bombing stops. You and 2 million others walk back, searching for what's left. Imagine spending 42 days living in the rubble of your former home, only for the so-called ceasefire to collapse, and the violence begins all over again. You do not need to imagine. This is not fiction. This is Gaza. And while the bombs fall on Gaza, Britain supplies the weapons. The UK has approved over £570 million in arms sales to Israel since 2008, including key parts for F-35 warplanes used to strike Gaza. British-made components make up 15% of every Israeli F-35. These jets were used relentlessly in the assault on Gaza. In May, hundreds of UK lawyers, including former Supreme Court judges, warned the UK government that it is breaching international law. And yet, arms sales continue. 108 new licenses have been granted since October 2023 alone. This is not new.
The Commission adopted a proposal to partially suspend trade concessions. Commissioner Šefčovič will update you on the trade details in a minute. And I want to be very clear. The aim is not to punish Israel. The aim is to improve the humanitarian situation in Gaza.
What is happening in Gaza has shaken the conscience of the world. People killed while begging for food. Mothers holding lifeless babies. These images are simply catastrophic. So I want to start with a very clear message. Man-made famine can never be a weapon of war. For the sake of the children, for the sake of humanity, this must stop. This is also part of a more systematic shift in the last month that is simply unacceptable. We have seen the financial suffocation of the Palestinian Authority. The plans for settlement project in the so-called E1 era, which would easily cut off the occupied West Bank from East Jerusalem. The actions and statements by the most extremist ministers of the Israeli government, which incite violence. All of this points to a clear attempt to undermine the two-state solution, to undermine the vision of a viable Palestinian state, and we must not let this happen.
כמה שיחות איתו אחרי התקיפה, וכולן היו טובות מאוד, כולל שיחתנו אתמול. ושני דברים יצאו מזה. אחד, שהוא הזמין אותי לבית הלבן.
$42 billion. That's not just a number, that's the price of what Israel is calling the ultimate betrayal. While Benjamin Netanyahu is publicly accusing Qatar of waging information warfare against Israel, while Israeli forces are conducting airstrikes on Qatari soil, while the Jewish state faces unprecedented international isolation, Donald Trump just signed the largest arms deal in Middle Eastern history with the very country Israel considers its greatest enemy after Iran. And the weapon systems being sold? They're the exact same advanced military technology that could be turned against Israel in any future conflict. This isn't just business as usual. This is a geopolitical earthquake that's reshaping the entire Middle East power structure, and the timing couldn't be more explosive. Just days after Netanyahu exposed what he claimed was Qatar's coordinated campaign against Israel, Trump stood at Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar, the largest U.S. military base in the Middle East, and announced a weapons package that reads, like Israel's worst nightmare come to life. Let me break down exactly what Trump just gave Qatar, because the details of this deal reveal just how dramatically American Middle East policy has shifted. We're talking about Terminal High-Altitude Area Defense Systems, THAAD, missile batteries, capable of intercepting ballistic missiles at ranges up to 124 miles. These aren't defensive weapons in the traditional sense. These are the most advanced missile defense systems in the American arsenal, technology so sensitive that it's only been deployed to America's closest allies. But the THAAD systems are just the beginning. Trump also announced that Qatar is purchasing KC-46 Pegasus aerial refueling aircraft, the same tankers that extend the range of American warplanes across the globe, Desert Viper light armored vehicles, amphibious combat vehicles, and here's the real kicker, MQ-9B Sky Guardian drones, the most lethal unmanned aircraft in the U.S. military's inventory. These aren't just any drones. The MQ-9B Sky Guardian represents the cutting edge of American drone technology, capable of staying airborne for over 40 hours, striking targets with precision-guided munitions, and conducting surveillance operations across vast distances. Qatar is getting 8 of these advanced systems for nearly $2 billion, 0 cents, making them the first Middle Eastern country outside of traditional U.S. allies to receive this technology. The timing of this announcement is absolutely staggering. Trump made this announcement while standing at Al Udeid Air Base, surrounded by American troops, just days after Israeli airstrikes targeted Hamas leadership operating from Qatar. The message couldn't be clearer. While Israel sees Qatar as a hostile actor harboring terrorists, America sees Qatar as a strategic partner deserving of the most advanced military technology on Earth. But here's where the story gets even more explosive. The $42 billion 0 cents figure is just the military component of a much larger package. Trump simultaneously announced over $243 billion, 0 cents, in broader economic deals between the United States and Qatar, including historic aircraft purchases for Qatar Airways and massive infrastructure investments. When you add it all up, we're looking at deals totaling over $1,200 billion, 0 cents, in economic commitments between America and Qatar. Concerns that they will personally benefit the Trump family. The senators are specifically targeting $3,500 million, 0 cents, in weapons sales to both Qatar and the UAE, suggesting that these deals may involve conflicts of interest that go to the very heart of American foreign policy decision-making. But the personal benefit allegations pale in comparison to the strategic implications. If these deals go through, Qatar will possess military capabilities that rival Israel's in several key areas. The combination of advanced missile defenses, long-range strike capabilities, and sophisticated surveillance systems would make Qatar one of the most militarily capable nations in the Middle East. The Israeli response, while not yet public in detail, can be imagined from the country's recent statements. Netanyahu has been warning that Israel may need to develop more self-sufficient military capabilities precisely because of concerns about American reliability. Trump's Qatar deal validates every one of Netanyahu's fears about American commitment to Israeli security.
नाज़रीन, इजराइल शदीद कमजोर हो चुका है, उसका डैमेज बहुत ज्यादा हुआ है। तारीख में पहली बार उसकी जो कैजुअलिटीज हैं वो 1 लाख के करीब हुई हैं। उसकी सोसाइटी एग्जॉस्टेड है, उसकी आर्मी एग्जॉस्टेड है। इंटरनेशनली वो सबसे ज्यादा इस वक्त आइसोलेटेड पोजीशन के अंदर है। उसकी जो लेजिटिमेसी है वो पूरी तरह से चैलेंज हो चुकी है। जो वेस्टर्न पब्लिक ओपिनियन है वो उसके खिलाफ टर्न हो चुकी है। ये सारा कुछ इजराइल के साथ हुआ और इजराइल अपनी तारीख के सबसे कमजोर तरीन पोजीशन के अंदर इस वक्त है। लेकिन इस सब के बावजूद अरब्स इजराइल को नहीं रोक सके हैं। अरब्स इजलास जो है वो बुरी तरह से नाकाम हुआ। हमने उसके ऊपर तफसीली बात की। यानी इजराइल एक कमजोर तरीन पोजीशन के अंदर है, फिर भी अरब और अजम दोनों मिलकर भी इजराइल को जब वो नहीं रोक सके हैं, तो यह भी एक तारीख में लिखा जाएगा। यानी इससे बड़ा जवाल और इससे बड़ी पसपाई का कोई आलम हो नहीं सकता है। ये तमाम ममालिक जिनके अमेरिका के साथ बेहतरीन ताल्लुकात हैं, इन्वेस्टमेंट्स हैं, मुआहदे हैं और अमेरिकन इंटरेस्ट को ये प्रोटेक्ट करते हैं, ये अमेरिका को इन्फ्लुएंस नहीं कर सके हैं। ये अमेरिका से सिर्फ सीज फार तक जो है वो नहीं मनवा सके हैं और उल्टा अमेरिका ने ग्रीन लाइट दी इन पर जो है वो हमला करवाने के हवाले से। तो ये जंग रुकवाने में बुरे तरीके से जब फेल हुए। गो के उस इजलास में भी कुछ गैर मामूली स्टेप्स लिए गए हैं, जिसमें एक बड़ा पॉलिसी शिफ्ट ले लिया गया है कि अब अपने ऊपर जब वो डिपेंड करना है और अपनी सिक्योरिटी को आउटसोर्स नहीं किया जा सकता। और नॉर्मलाइजेशन के हवाले से डिस्कशन पहली बार जब शुरू हो गई है कि ये खत्म होनी चाहिए और शदीद पब्लिक दबाव है। तो एक पॉलिसी शिफ्ट तो आ चुका है, लेकिन जिस चीज की इमीडिएट जरूरत थी कि कोई ऐसा फोर्सफुल और सॉलिड एक्शन लिया जाए जो इजराइल को फौरी तौर पर रोके, जो अमेरिका को प्रेशराइज करे, वो इसमें फेल हुए हैं। और माजी में अरब हुक्मरानों ने ऐसे इकदाम लिए हैं, सिंगल हैंडली ऐसे इकदाम लिए हैं कि अमेरिका जो है वो इवन प्रेशराइज हुआ। इसमें बहुत बड़ी मिसाल जब वो जॉर्डन के फॉर्मर किंग की है, जिसमें हमास का ऑफिस वहां पर था। खालिद मिशाल जो है जो इस वक्त कतर में है, ان کو 2 سے 3 مرتبہ پہلے بھی اسرائیل جو ہے اسیسینیٹ کرنے کی کوشش کر چکا ہے. ایک بار جارڈن کے اندر 90s کے اینڈ کی بات ہے, جارڈن کے اندر ان کو اسیسینیٹ کرنے کی جو ہے وہ کوشش کی گئی تھی اور ان کو زہر دے دیا گیا تھا, لیکن موساد کے لوگوں کو وہاں پر خالد مشعل کے جو گارڈز ہیں انہوں نے پکڑ لیا. اور پھر جب جارڈن گورنمنٹ کو پتا چلا اور جارڈن کنگ کو پتا چلا تو انہوں نے اتنا بڑا سٹانس لیا کہ فوری طور پر اسرائیل مجبور ہوا کہ وہ اینٹیڈوٹ جو ہے وہ خالد مشعل کے لیے لے کر آیا. اور پھر جارڈن کنگ نے کہا نہیں, اب بھی نہیں, ابھی بھی معاملہ سیٹل ڈاؤن نہیں ہوا, چونکہ انہوں نے ہمارے سوال کے اوپر کیا ہے تو ابھی معاملہ آگے چلے گا. پھر اس ایکٹ کے بدلے انہوں نے سینکڑوں وہاں پر فلسطینی جو ہے وہ رہا کروائے. انہوں نے کہا نہیں تو پھر ہم موساد کے لوگوں کو سرعام جو ہے وہ یہاں پر ان کو نشان عبرت بنائیں گے. یعنی سنگل ہینڈلی ایک کنگ آف جارڈن نے اتنا بڑا ایکشن لیا, اور اس طرح سے امریکہ اور اسرائیل, اور اس وقت بھی نتنیاہو تھا, بالکل اس نے تمام اپنی شرائط جب وہ منوائی. پہلے خالد مشعل کے لیے اینٹیڈوٹ منگوایا, اور اگر وہ نہ ہوتا تو وہ ایک ایسا زہر تھا کہ یہ سروائیو ہی نہیں کر سکتے تھے. اینٹیڈوٹ اسرائیل کو لے کر آنا پڑا ہنگامی, اور اس پر بھی انہوں نے کہا کہ نہیں ابھی بھی بات نہیں بنی, ابھی پہلے ان سینکڑوں فلسطینیوں کو بھی رہا کرو. اسرائیل کو رہا کرنے پڑے. تو یہ ہے وہ طاقت جو ان کے پاس ایگزسٹ کرتی ہے. لیکن یہ خوف, دیکھیں بنیادی بات میں نے پہلے آپ کو کر دی تھی, ساری بات اس بات کے اوپر کھڑی ہوئی ہے کہ چونکہ مونارکیز ہیں اور وہ یرغمال بن چکی ہیں امریکہ کے ہاتھ, تو اس خوف میں کہ وہ ساری چلتی ہی امریکہ کے اوپر ہے ڈائریکٹلی اور انڈائریکٹلی, یہ مونارکیز جو ہے وہ اسرائیل کے اوپر چل رہی ہیں, تو اس چیز نے ان کو جکڑ لیا. ایون آپ دیکھیں ایران نے فوری رسپونڈ کیا, ٹرکی کے اوپر اگر یہ اٹیک کریں گے تو آپ کو ٹرکی کا رد عمل بھی نظر آئے گا. تو جو ایک ایکشن ہو سکتا تھا وہ انہوں نے لینا تھا, نہیں لے سکے مونارکیز ہونے کی وجہ سے. تو اب یہ ساری رکاوٹ جو ہے اب یہ ظاہر ہوا کہ یہ ساری ادھر ہی ہے. تو اب یہ خود سوچ رہے ہیں کہ بھئی اب معاملات جو ہے وہ آگے کیسے چلنے ہیں, کیونکہ پبلک کا دباؤ شدید ہے. یہ کب تک جو ہے اس کو روک کر بیٹھے رہیں گے, اور نتنیاہو تو کہہ رہے ہیں وہ دوبارہ اٹیک کرے گا. تو اب یہ نتنیاہو کا خود اعلان ہے کہ ہم آئسولیشن میں جا رہے ہیں, سیلف ریلائنٹ ہوں گے, ویپن بھی یہیں پر بنائیں گے, انڈسٹری بھی یہیں پر ہوگی, سارا کچھ بس ادھر ہی گزارا ہم کریں گے, لیکن ہم جو ہمارا مشن ہے اس کو پورا کریں گے. اور مشن جینوسائیڈ ہے, گریٹر اسرائیل ہے. لیکن ان کی آئیڈیالوجی کا آپ سمجھیں. اور ادھر بھی دیکھیں جو کمپرومائز کرنے کے لیے تیار نہیں ہے, جن کے پاس لیجیٹیمیسی ہے, جن کی یہ ڈیوٹی ہے کہ وہ مظلوموں کے ساتھ کھڑے ہوں, جن کے اسٹریٹجک انٹرسٹ میں ہے, جن کی نیشنل سیکورٹی کے لیے ضروری ہے, وہ اپنے لگژری کو, اپنے تعیش کو چھوڑنے کے لیے تیار نہیں اور غفلت سے جاگنے کے لیے تیار نہیں ہے. پھر ایسوں کے ساتھ کیا ہوتا ہے؟ تو اگلی بات یہ ہے کہ کیا اسرائیل اب یہ جو اتنی ایروگنس دکھا رہا ہے کہ وہ اس آئسولیشن میں بھی جا کر گریٹر اسرائیل بنا لے گا, کیا یہ پاسبل ہے؟ ہیرڈز نے کیا لکھا ہے, It did not end well for Sparta and it will not for Israel either. یہ سپارٹنز کے لیے بھی اچھا نہیں نکلا تھا اس کا اینڈ, اور اسرائیل تو پھر ویسے بھی جو کچھ کر رہا ہے اسرائیل کے لیے بھی اچھا نہیں نکلے گا. یہ ہیرڈز نے جواب دیا نتنیاہو کو. اور جو اسرائیل کی سب سے بڑی ٹریڈ یونین ہے وہ سامنے آ گئی ہے. اسرائیلی ٹریڈ یونین لیڈر ریجیکٹس نتنیاہوز سپر اسپارٹا ویژن. انہوں نے کہا کہ یہ بالکل فضول ہے اور ہماری سوسائٹی ایگزاسٹڈ ہے اور گلوبل سٹینڈنگ ہماری تیزی کے ساتھ گر رہی ہے اور ہم اس چیز کو افورڈ نہیں کر سکتے, اس دریا سے ہم گزر نہیں سکیں گے اور اس میں ہم ڈوب جائیں گے. یہ ان کی ٹریڈ یونینز اس کی جو ہے وہ مخالفت کر رہی ہیں. تو جناب علی, اسرائیل رکنے والا نہیں ہے. اسرائیل کو ان کے پاس طاقت ہے کہ یہ روک سکے. مسئلہ یہ ہے کہ بھائی ہماری مونارکیز ہیں اور وہ گر جائیں گی فلاں فلاں فلاں. تو پھر کسی نے تو اسرائیل کے سامنے آنا ہے. تو وہ متبادل جو فورسز ہیں وہ مڈل ایسٹ میں آگے بڑھیں گی, کیونکہ ایسے تو چل نہیں سکتا نا یہ چپ کر کے بیٹھے رہے اسرائیل غزہ میں سارا کچھ کرتا رہے. اسرائیل بہت کمزور پوزیشن میں ہے اور ان کے پاس پوری طاقت ہے یہ امریکہ کو انفلوئنس کر سکے. امریکہ کا بہت انٹرسٹ ہے ریجن میں, لیکن جب یہ سب کچھ قبول کر پھر بھی امریکن انٹرسٹ کو بڑھانے کے لیے تیار ہیں تو پھر امریکہ کیوں پریشرائز کرے گا اسرائیل کو. رشیا اور چائنا انتظار کر رہے ہیں. اگر یہ مڈل ایسٹ کے مالک اور باقی فیصلہ کرتے ہیں, بات مڈل ایسٹ کے مالک کے اوپر ہی ہے پہلے دن سے, اگر یہ فیصلہ کرتے ہیں تو رشیا اور چائنا یہاں پر موجود ہیں اور وہ تیار ہیں. نتنیاہو نے کہا چائنا یہاں پر ہیلپ کر رہا ہے اور وہ مزید آگے آنے کے لیے تیار ہیں بشرطے کہ یہ فیصلہ کریں. اور یہ نہیں کر رہے تو معاملات ان کے ہاتھوں سے نکل رہے ہیں اور بہت حد تک نکل چکے ہیں اور باقی طاقتیں آ رہی ہیں مڈل ایسٹ میں, آپ کو نظر آئیں گی اسرائیل سے لڑتی ہوئی جو ہے وہ نظر آئیں گی اور اسرائیل سب کے اوپر حملہ کرے گا. और भी दीगर खबरें आपके सामने रखेंगे अगली वीडियोस में। बहुत सारी खबरें तेजी के साथ आ रही हैं, रैपिड इवेंट्स अब हो रहे हैं, मजीद होंगे, ये आपके साथ शेयर किया। आपने राज आगाह करें, इजाजत दीजिए, अल्लाह हाफिज।
Like that, so it has to be coordinated. Now the northern and south, they have to coordinate with each other, and the command should be divided between Turkey, Egypt, Pakistan, and one of the most fierce people in both is who can provide you the facility is with the satellite is the Chinese, who can block the any F-35 even when they are flying over Tel Aviv and away from in Jordan's airspace or from the Egyptian, you can destroy them. So they can't even take off, and that has been shown to you by the India-Pakistan few days war, where they shot down 7. 5 of them was the latest. I think the French, with their pilots, many pilots are still they are sick or injured, or 1 or 2 are I think still in custody of either villages or in Pakistani jail. So the word threats, they dread them. And in the ground, I think you have the best people who can help you over there is Chinese. Chinese soldiers are very tough, trained, and so are the Turkish. And in many ways, I think Egypt has defeated them before, crossed Suez Canal in the middle of the night, and gave them a surprise and got their areas back, blindfolded them. And Golda Meir was in tears when she saw that and said, this is what was the Camp David. So immediately get out of the Camp David Accord, immediately get out of Abraham Accord, get your money, stop the MOUs of 1.3 trillion here and the Saudi 1.3 trillion there, and billions of other orders, cancel that, all that. You have alternative now, and the best technology in the world is not Russian, not Americans. You have now alternative which you didn't have few decades ago. That's the Chinese at the top of the world. And in the last parade, the thing shown to you, even look at those laser things for the first time demonstrated, and those planes which can fly way above the B-252. So what are you afraid of? Shoot them down. Shoot them down from across the borders. So use the airspace of Egypt, Jordan, Iraq, the closest place, Saudi Arabia, and corner them like the pack of hyenas. Get this bloody bastard and get him out. Get him, throw him out. And remember that by just getting and killing every Jew in Israel is not going to be enough. Don't touch any innocent Israeli man, woman, or a child. Orthodox, and which are the real Torah followers and practicing the real Jews. But as far as Zionism, as far as secularism, as far as atheists, and I think they have to be eliminated. Even not a single, I think, should be left. Hitler, I made a biggest mistake of leaving them from the incinerator and the gas chambers. Now this is the time now. If you didn't do it now, then you sit in the home, and then one by one you will be lost, and then whole of the Middle East, whole of the Arabs, whole of the oil, all resources, including Turkey and Iran, and it will be all part of the greater Israel, and then just wait for the destruction and elimination of Al-Aqsa Mosque. And then they will walk up to Mecca, and it's only up to Medina that they will not be able to have the command at this meeting. Eastern, Western, Northern Share have the gold, the ground soldiers, have the commandos, the best in the world, have the swimmers, the best in the world, have the parachute people dropped in from various places. Give them 1 month's food, dry grams or dates or something, so they hide, and whenever they get a chance, they start from all 5 corners, kill them, get them in, don't let there any fly. So attack them from the ground, from the air, from the sea. How on earth you think that this long, still light, tiny, with the whole world spits on them, will be able to survive? Within a month, I can swear, or make me an in charge. I give me a command. I don't mention you my name. I don't show you my face. I will just work in the shadows, and you take the credit. Put your generals, put your armies.
यूनिवर्सल टेलीविजन को सब्सक्राइब करना ना भूलें। उसके बाद बेल बटन पे क्लिक करें और अपने कमेंट्स के सेक्शन में अपने कीमती जो ख्यालात का इजहार ज़रूर